So what I want to do here in the few minutes I have with you is really talk about what is the formula for life and good health. Genetics, lifestyle, and environment. That's going to sort of contain our risks, and if we manage those risks, we're going to live a good life and a good healthy life. Well, I understand the genetics and lifestyle part. What does that mean? My environment. Well, it can mean a lot of things. This is my life. These are my life places. We all have these. While I'm talking, I'd like you to also be thinking about how many places have you lived? Just think about that, wander through your life thinking about this. And you realize that you spend it in a variety of different places. You spend it at rest and you spend it at work, and if you're like me, you're in an airplane a good portion of your time, traveling someplace. So it's not really simple when somebody asks you, where do you live, where do you work, and where do you spend all your time, and where do you expose yourselves to risks that maybe perhaps you don't even see. Well, when I have done this on myself, I always come to the conclusion that I spend about 75% of my time relatively in a small number of places. And I don't wander far from that place for a majority of my time, even though I'm an extensive global trekker. Now I'm going to take you on a little journey here. I started off in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I don't know if anybody might hail from northeastern Pennsylvania, but this is where I spent my first 19 years with my little young lungs. Breathing high concentrations here of sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and methane gas in unequal quantities. 19 years of this, and if you've been in that part of the country, this is what those piles of burning, smoldering cold waste looked like. So then I decided to leave that part of the world, and I was going to go to the Midwest. Okay, so I ended up in Louisville, Kentucky. Well, I decided to be neighbors to a place called Rubbertown. They manufacture plastics. They use large quantities of chloroprene and benzene. Okay, I spent 25 years in my middle-aged lungs now, breathing various concentrations of that. And on a clear day, it always looked like this, so you never saw it. It was insidious, and it was really happening. And then I decided I'd get really smart. I would take this job in the West Coast. And I moved to Redlands, California. Very nice. And there, my older senior lungs, as I like to call them, I filled with particulate matter, carbon dioxide, and very high doses of ozone. Okay, almost like the highest in the nation. Right? This is what it looks like on a good day. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. So what's wrong with this picture? Well, the picture is there's a huge gap here. The one thing that never happens in my doctor's office, they never ask me about my place history. No doctor can I remember ever asking me, where have you lived? They haven't asked me what kind of the quality of the drinking water that I put in my mouth or the food that I ingest in my stomach. They really don't do that. It's missing. Look at the kind of data that's available. This data is from all over the world. Countries spend billions of dollars investing in this kind of research. Now, I circled the places where I've been. Well, by design, if I wanted to have a heart attack, I've been in the right places, right? What I'd like to leave you for are two prescriptions. Okay, number one is we must teach physicians about the value of geographical information. It's called geomedicine. There's about a half a dozen programs in the world right now that are focused on this, and they're in the early stages of development. These programs need to be supported, and we need to teach our future doctors of the world the importance of some of the information I've shared here with you today. The second thing we need to do is, while we're spending billions and billions of dollars all over the world building an electronic health record, we make sure we put a place history inside that medical record. It not only will be important for the physician, it will be important for the researchers that now will have huge samples to draw upon, but it'll also be useful for us. So with that, I'll leave you that in my particular view of health, geography always matters, and I believe that geographic information can make both you and me very healthy. Thank you.